Test, test, test. Moving the screen because I was told to. Excuse me. Hi everyone, welcome to another e-lead presented by the Student Activities and Involvement Office at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Today we'll be discussing student organization expectations and what that looks like here on campus. So the purpose of campus requirements is to provide a positive and safe involvement opportunities for all students. As we do have quite a very large number of organizations, we want to make sure that all students that are interested in have that safe space, feel like they can go to an organization in a positive and will have a positive and safe environment and time while they're there, and for UW-Whitewater to provide support for these involvement opportunities, whether that's through funding or any other means that the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater provides. The purpose of involvement itself is learning that takes place inside and outside of the classroom. Your organization involvement is a great learning experience to take advantage of. Many of you probably joined organizations and didn't realize you'd become part of the executive board or hold a position or just become really involved. So being able to understand the expectations that other people are looking to further grow their learning and just find people that are similar to them is essential. Also, for the student organization recognition policy, there's a full review of UW-Whitewater's expectations of student organizations that you're expected to understand and know briefly at least, or have a very broad understanding. You don't need to know the nitty-gritty, but you can find this in the student organization recognition policy in the student organization leader handbook. Also, per the student organization conduct policy, there will be an action taken by the university if your org fails to meet any of these following requirements, as it is required to be recognized and have all of the opportunities and resources available to you as a student organization. So campus requirements for all student organizations include the following. So annual recognition, usually typically in the spring, end of spring or end of fall if you're a brand new org. It recognizes you for the entire next academic year. You must have membership, of course. Without members, you cannot exactly have an organization that will last long, unfortunately. But membership is important and essential. You must complete the alcohol and drug agreement, the financial management course. You must do the contracting, you have to do the anti-hazing training and agreement. And you also must abide by the local laws and ordinances. Greek organizations must also complete a new member orientation, also known as Greek 101. It's just an additional thing that Greek organizations have to do, but the other student organizations are not required to do so. So moving into annual recognition, as I mentioned, there's 2 recognition windows each year, one in April and May for the following academic year, and November and December for the following spring semester. The president/leader, however you define your positions in your organization, and a second member must complete their student leader certifications and an advisor of confirmation of service. So the advisor does the advisor confirmation of service, and then 2 other e-board position members have to complete the 2 different student leader certifications for annual recognition. And you also must update your portal, so your Connect portal, including an up-to-date constitution as well. So these are some of the important things with annual recognition. Moving into the roles and rules for membership, 50% must be currently enrolled at UW-Whitewater, so 50% of your membership, including that of e-board positions. Other membership is welcome at the group's discretion, so whether that's non-UW individuals, faculty or staff, alumni, it's all up to the organization. Just keep in mind that they do represent you at events, so don't be careful with who you allow as members and their kind of requirements, I guess I should say. All officers must be enrolled at UW. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, but all officers must be currently enrolled. All recognized organizations must have a campus advisor. They have to be a full-time employee of the institution, not on like a hiatus or sabbatical. They cannot be on sabbatical at all. So just a couple things to note with that. And then membership criteria and officer roles must be outlined in the group's constitution. So go back to your constitution, figure out what does our membership entail, who can be a member, who can be a officer, just using that information to base off who you go after. And you cannot illegally discriminate against those who want to join your org. All orgs are all comers except for Greeks, as they have a different standard when it comes to being female based and male based, but all organizations in general cannot illegally discriminate against anybody at all, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, all that stuff. You cannot discriminate. So moving into the third one, the alcohol and drug agreement. If you break the law, there will be conduct issues for you as an individual, and if the activity is affiliated with your organization, conduct issues for the group too. So keep that in mind when you're planning events or when you're inviting people over to this event. Make sure that they're aware that, or you're aware that any action that you do reflects badly on you, but also could reflect badly on the organization. So be sure to keep that in mind. And if your organization has a stricter policy than UW-Whitewater's, then those stricter guidelines will overrule the campus policy. So please be sure to be aware of what your constitution, what your organization's policies are, to keep that in mind and make sure that all your members are aware at events or whatever you're doing. And further information about illegal use of alcohol and or drugs can be found on Connect in the student leadership portal as well. So another thing, like I was talking about earlier, all students are welcome. Your constitution, bylaws, and actions must abide by federal law. Like I mentioned in the third bullet here, the all comers. So if a person states they believe in the mission of the organization, they have the right to join the organization and run for office. You are not allowed to discriminate. Everyone is allowed. So those are some of the main student organization expectations. So thank you for watching this e-lead. Our contact information is on the screen here, so please feel free to reach out to us with any additional questions you may have about this topic or any other topic or any problems or concerns you're having with your student organization or the leaders or its members. Please feel free to reach out to us and we'll get back to you. So thank you and hope to see you soon.